What's up, guys? It's Mike Frank with Berkshire Hathaway, Frank Oliver and Company, coming to you again to talk a little bit about what your home is worth, valuing a house, why a CMA might be a little bit different from an appraisal. But last week we talked about the interior and exterior values, the factors that agents will take into consideration when valuing your home. And again, we're talking about a CMA, a comparable market analysis, right? We're not talking about appraisal, which is looking at the past sales and the value of the home. We're talking about the market and what will the market sustain as we consider purchasing or selling your current home. So the first factor that we're going to consider when it comes to the exterior and the non-stipulated factors of your specific home, we're going to talk about things like the lot. The lot is the land that the house sits on, whether it's a corner lot or an interior row home, property with a big sloping hill like we saw last night with April and Cian, or a property with 2 acres versus 4 acres. The lot size and the lot layout, the dimensions, the location is going to come into a big play because a property with a more desirable lot is obviously going to sell more quickly and for more money than the property with the less desirable lot back in the corner, right? Then we're also going to talk about things like mechanics. So the mechanical systems of a home, everything from the roof to the HVAC and the water heater. We're going to talk about the age, the construction, the criteria. Because if you have 2-zoned HVAC unit versus having a single zone, your house is probably going to have a little bit more worth and a little bit more value. This is also going to come up in other factors of your home that are going to be undisclosed. Things like a second refrigerator or something maybe in the garage that might suit as extra storage or extra kitchen storage. We're going to talk about things like that as it comes to the value for a potential purchaser, not comparable to a past sale. The other thing that we're going to figure is we're going to figure out on the style of residence. The style of home is so important because if you live in a rancher and you want to compare to a colonial, that's never going to work out well. What's going to work the most effectively is finding something like kind. What we're looking for is a similar style home from a similar area and a similar location. And we ultimately want to find that same property that we could say, hey, this one sold for this much money. This should substantiate that value. And then we can start to consider the other comps in the market, the competition, to say, well, past sale was this number, competition is that number. We know our rancher should be set to this price. Right? We don't want to consider a rancher and a Victorian and a colonial all in the same unless that's the standard within your community. And you're going to see that in some of our more prominent communities where there's a lot of different styles, but now we're commuting to the location. Right? So we want to talk about the different areas and what a house in my specific neighborhood, maybe let's just say 0.1 miles away, is going to comp a lot better than a property 0.7 miles away. Or use an extreme like we did with Tammy back when, they're going to comp to a property 1 mile away and a property 8 miles away when the property is so unique that like kind doesn't exist in that small location. They're going to start to go like in kind farther and farther and farther away. Now, we're not talking about for higher price. We're talking about like in kind. So if you're looking at a farmette on 6 acres, which was our specific situation, for a house that was built in the 1800s in Baltimore County, well, you might actually cross over the county line to go into Carroll County to find a like kind sale. And now what we're comparing to is we're not comparing apples and apples, but we're comparing how did these apples compare to the other sales within the location that we're talking about. And you can understand why CMA becomes really, really, really organic. It's something that an agent has to understand. It's something that we have to feel. Market value is an emotion, in my opinion. It's substantiated by statistics. And what we know is that you have to find the right agent that has the right understanding of what market value looks like to create that CMA that's going to get your home sold for the highest dollar at the fastest time. But ultimately, what we know, which is worse than anything, is hiring the wrong person that doesn't have an understanding of the value. You're going to price the property over the value, and it's going to sit on the market for so long that you're actually going to be sacrificing money. Not only that, but the time that you spend on the market is dollars out of your pocket paying for things like maintenance cost, improvement value, and things like taxes and transfers. You want to keep in mind that hiring the right real estate agent is key. So obviously, reach out to us with any questions. Understand that a CMA is different than a market analysis, which is different than an appraisal. Hiring the right person will tell you that. As always, you can reach us, DM, PM, or subscribe to the link below if you haven't already, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for weekly content. Also, check out our social media pages. The links are in the description below. See you next week.